Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra and I am here today to go through with you the Tarot and Oracle decks that are on the chopping block and see if we can make some final decisions. So, last week I did a video where I wrapped up my Declutter series. It's linked up above in the cards. In the playlist of my deck evolution. And I talked to you about how I was going to be doing this video. And basically, I have some decks that I keep going back and forth on. And I'm trying to make some final decisions. So tuck in, get a beverage. I think this is going to be a longer video because I'm going to be talking about things. And I'm doing it all in one, even if it's long. So let's get started. I'm going to start with one that I actually wasn't in that video series because I got this in between getting the, like, after filming the series, I got this deck. This is the Queer Tarot. It's a newer deck by, I guess, Ash and Chess. I love the backs. I love the colors on this, but a friend bought this and determined it wasn't for her and offered it to me, and I have never actually been drawn to use it. I've considered keeping it specifically for client work because it is a good diverse deck, but I'm not sure. I love this world card, I admit. There's someone who presents more masculine on the strength card, which is new. I love this. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I just haven't had occasion to use it yet. I could see myself getting rid of it, but I'm wondering if I should just hold on to it and give it a try, because it might actually be a really good, like, I can't see why it wouldn't be a good reader. It seems pretty traditional. Like, in the symbolism wise, it's just diverse, which I love because, in my opinion, there's 4 new decks being created. There's really no excuse as to why they shouldn't be diverse. I thought I was gonna say, yeah, okay, this can go, but I'm not sure. I think I'd like to give it a try first. I do absolutely love how colorful it is. It shuffles great. Actually, it's it's a little bit of a hard cardstock. I think it'll break in well. So that's the Queer Tarot. I think I'm going to take this off the chopping block, at least until I give it a try. And then see how I feel. I really do love the backs, though. Like, and I love how colorful it is. And I don't like the aesthetic of some of the other diverse decks, like the Numinous Tarot. I don't really like that aesthetic. I don't know why. So that's the Queer Tarot. This one we're gonna save for now. So I'll put that over there. Next, I want to talk about the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle. Oh God, I love this. I'm not sure about this one. The thing that I love the messages, I love the art is stunning. I'm so upset that the Cozy Witch Tarot ended up being a deal breaker. I think the problem I'm having with this deck right now, I have used it, like, I got this in 2020. It's 2022. It's getting closer to closer to 2023 than it is to 2021 now. And I've used this like twice. This is a very loving deck. And I had a very emotional reaction when I got it. The trouble I'm having is I'm having trouble with the diversity of decks. This one is diverse in race and in body type, which is amazing. It's not diverse in gender expression. Most of these are figures that people would call feminine. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just... Oh, God. I think I'm struggling with this because I'm struggling with my own idea of my own expression. And I go very back and forth because, like, I believe that things like tarot decks, there's no reason they shouldn't be diverse. There's 78 cards. At the same time, I believe we should also be able to, like a card like this, I do not look like this person. No, it's very true, I don't. That doesn't mean I shouldn't be able to relate to them. You know, like when I first had a deck where a significator card did not look like me, it threw me for a loop for a minute, I'll admit. And that's my own internalized shit that I needed to work through. And then I realized, and I was like, Kyra, hold on. Just because this person doesn't physically look like me doesn't mean I can't relate to them and I can't see myself within this picture. Especially because like there's so much representation of like my skin color. My skin color is well overrepresented in decks. My body type, not so much, and that's why this was such a big thing for me. My aesthetic, also not necessarily as much, and I can see myself in some of these cards. My gender expression is the part that I'm having trouble with, because there's a fluidity to it that I don't understand, that I'm still working on. When I decided to get rid of and cancel my pre-order of the Cozy Witch Tarot, I was sure this was going to go. I was also feeling at the time very much leaning into my masculine expression. And I'm now feeling the pull back towards more feminine expression. It's very confusing. So this is my favorite card. So I think I thought this was going to go, but I guess I'm going to save it. Maybe I can find a tarot deck that I like for working with it, and then I can work on I can see. This one surprises me. I thought I was ready to get rid of this, but I guess not. So that goes over with that one. Okay. Let's talk about these two next. One at a time. So this is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and this is the Moon Oracle. I did have 2 copies of the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. One has since been rehomed, and I hope that that person is finding good use of it. This is the copy, big ass box, that I edged, which I love the multicolor edging. Oh my god. I love how this thing shuffles. It's amazing. I love the size of it. I just want to shuffle for a minute. Hold on. What I don't love about this deck is, 1, the art. I'm sorry, this is not my kind of art style. 2, this deck is a very 12-letter alphabet deck. So, whenever it says Sagittarius, it says a 9 up here, as in the 9th house. And this, so a card like this could be read as Jupiter in the 9th house or Jupiter in Sagittarius, as if they're the same thing. This is a deck very clearly based on the 12-letter alphabet, which I talked about when I did my Astro Codes review. I talked about that. I've mentioned it before. The Astro Codes review is up there. But this deck, I think I'm just done with it. I don't think I care. Here's a really good example. The Sun in Libra. Let's look at the guidebook. Okay? It says the Sun in the 7th house, or the Sun in Libra. And then the keyword is harmony. I don't like that keyword for the Sun in Libra. But let's just see. Let's give it a chance and see what it says in the guidebook. The basic Sun/Libra nature is easygoing and sociable, with an ability to relate to others in a balanced and cooperative way. Although the House Libra rules is concerned with marriage and close relationships, it has a broader meaning governing all day-to-day social contracts. See, right there it is. Although the House Libra rules is concerned with marriage and close relationships. That's directly the 12-letter alphabet. Because Libra does not always rule the 7th house. That depends on each individual's chart. For me, Libra is my 4th house. It has no connection to my 7th house. Yeah, I'm just done with it. I'm done with it. I can't. It makes it harder to work with astrology. It hurts my brain. I just can't with it. I think if people liked the artwork, let me show you a bit more. I got all angry and started putting it away. I think for people who like the artwork, I do love this image. I think for people who like the artwork, and for folks who feel they can separate away from the astrology and use it as an oracle, I think this deck could be amazing. There's a lot of cards. The images are great if you like this style of artwork. I think there's a lot to be had from this deck. I wanted it for an astrology deck, and it doesn't tick my boxes for astrology. And because I don't like the art style, I can't get past. That's something that makes it not something I'll reach for as an oracle. And the other thing is, my brain, this is why I struggle with the 12-letter alphabet. The 12-letter alphabet makes it a lot harder for my neurodivergent brain to work with astrology. So this is, I look at this and I see, okay, this is an astrology deck because here's the astrology stuff. I can't separate for myself in my brain, this is an astrology deck, but I'm going to use it as just an oracle and not look at the astrology. I can't do that. If you can and you like this artwork, I think this could be an amazing deck. I also really love this image. I do like some of the images a lot, but I can't. I might consider holding on to this and, I don't know, using it for some sort of an art project like scrapbooking or I don't know, because some of the images I really like and others I really hate. But this is no longer this one final decision, it's going. I'll put it there for now because I have to look at its kind of companion, and this one's a lot harder. First, it's in this stunning bag, which I'm keeping either way. This one has the same artwork, but somehow it feels softer here. I am so hungry. I like the art. I don't know why. I think this is an older deck than this one is. What gets me about this, what makes it hard to move on is it's so detailed. Like there's a bunch of goddess cards right here. Then you have a bunch of mansion cards, which is a very specific astrology based on, like, it's an astrological practice based on the moon, which I don't think people really use it as much anymore because the moon moves so fast. I've always wanted to study this deck and learn about this special moon astrology and see if it resonates, and that's something I haven't done. And then so you have the goddess cards, the mansion cards, and then you have the moon phase cards. So, and I'm a Cancer rising sign. The moon is my chart ruler. And this one, it doesn't feel as reliant on the 12-letter alphabet. This is reliant on a different type of astrological thing. I feel like the last part that makes this one hard for me is that I've had some extremely profound, I'm attached to this. I used this for my moon readings for months. And it was one of my first most consistent reading practices. So I'm very attached to this. And I don't think I'm ready to give it up. I think I would miss it at this point. I think I would want it back. I still want to study it. The long and short of it is I still want to study this deck. So I put this at the wrong pile. This is the staying pile. I still want to study this deck, and so I'm going to keep it. And the Oracle of the Radiant Sun can go. Okay. Now's a hard one. My Playful Heart. So I've taken this, I even put it away in its tuck box. I've taken this, I put this in purgatory, I took it out of purgatory, I put it, and now it's back like on the chopping block. I can, as I mentioned in a previous video, if I look through this and I say, okay, I'm going to rehome it, someone has already called dibs. This is so damn cute. Okay, so if that was a weird sequence, I had to pause and help my kiddo. This one's really hard for me. I go back and forth. I wanted it for a long time. It's adorable. The cardstock is amazing. I wish it was maybe a little smaller, so it was maybe a bit easier to handle, because the cardstock and the size makes it a bit slippy. I'm not sure. I don't, ow. Oh, bad pain in my head. I don't know what to do about this deck. It's so very cute. I don't like this card. I don't know. I don't know. I can't figure out quite. I think I just don't get it. Or it just doesn't get me. I love the artwork minus a couple of the cards. I even had the thought a moment ago of like, what if I just chopped off the titles and just had it as like an oracle deck. So I thought about that just a moment ago of chopping off the titles. But this is also a deck that I haven't worked with a lot. I don't like this for the Ten of Wands. I think my problem is I just don't, like, I love the art. I love the art, but I feel like I just don't get it as a tarot deck. At least not all of them. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm not ready to just let go of it. I paid a lot of money for this. It's a fabulous quality deck, and it was worth every penny. FYI, if you buy this, I wouldn't necessarily recommend the guidebook. It's a tiny little paper one. Like, it's not bad, but it didn't end up worth the money to me, so it just kind of sits there. I think I'm not ready to let this go. I think maybe I could do, let me know if you're interested in the comments. I'm thinking I could do a video where I sit down and go through it and see how many cards make sense to me with the tarot, how many don't. See if I can decide, do I want to modify this and make it into like an oracle, excuse me, make it into like an oracle thing. So let me know in the comments down below if that would interest you. Okay. I'm gonna need this moon one for a second. because the next one I want to look at, this is the bag I had my Oracle of the, oh, wait a minute, my Oracle of the Radiant Sun in. And I thought it goes pretty well, but this is an astrology bag, so hold on. I can put, no, I don't like, never mind. I was like, oh, I can put my new astrology deck in here, and it would fit beautifully, except for the fact that I know exactly what kind of fabric I want to put this in. So never mind. I'll use this. Anyways, I ended up putting my Dark Goddess Tarot in this bag. And this is the one that I'm also very unsure about. The art, it's similar to, oh God, I love that there's Durga. This one I put in Purgatory. I was sure I was getting rid of it, then I took it back out. I also really kind of want so I have multiple thoughts about this, and I've gone very back and forth on it. The cardstocks, meh. I love some of the things in it. I'm not sure. I wish that I hadn't have asked for this for Yule, because I don't have a different Yule present. See, this I love. The art of this I love. My thoughts, here are my thoughts. And if you can hear that, that's the kettle. Here are my thoughts. I really like some of Ellen Lorenzi Prince's artwork. Specifically, I love this. What I want is Tarot of the Crone. And so I wonder if I got this because I couldn't get Tarot of the Crone. And I just didn't quite realize that that is what I was doing. So I've thought about these two together. And like when it comes to the goddess cards, the art style is actually great. It's weird. I looked at these two together and I didn't like it. Maybe I was mad at my deck at the time. The art style of these two together do go really well. Oh, good gravy. I can't quite seem to figure out how I feel about these two decks. If I ever get my hands on Tarot of the Crone, this probably will not stay. But I can't seem to figure out how I feel about either of these two decks. And I like them together in this moment in time. So I think I'm going to hold on to both of them. Okay, what's next? Let's tackle these. These are my Wild Unknown decks. So the Wild Unknown Tarot, I did end up getting the Pocket Tarot. And I have this one out because I tested it with a Sharpie to see if I could, if I wrote on it with a Sharpie, if it would stay. And it does mostly stay, but I can also rub it off a bit. So I love how bitty this is. It's itty bitty bitty. And I do like the art. I don't really care too much for the pips, and I'm not really interested in learning pips yet. I was thinking, someone had suggested in the comments that maybe I could use this for doing Lisa's tarot training wheels, which I've watched, but I still haven't fully watched it, and I haven't used, I haven't actually done the write out of the things. But I don't give a shit about this. So this can go. Whoever gets it, there is now a dot on the temperance card. I'll see if I can remove that, but this can go. I think there's some ways to remove it. I'm wondering though, if I want to incorporate, do my tarot of training wheels and incorporate the words into, oh, this card got bent, into these. That I really kind of like the idea of, incorporate the keywords into these. There's some lightness on each card. Yeah, I think I'm going to try that. I think I'm going to use this with the tarot of training wheels and incorporate the keywords into the artwork and see if I like it. Okay. Now for the harder two. I don't know which is harder. I haven't used any of these decks in over a year. I have tried, but I haven't actually used them. This one, what I like about it, I love the art. It's just animals with the elements. So there's, I feel like if I knew more about these animals, I feel like I could get a lot out of it. The other great thing is I still have the borders, and I like incorporated keywords. So I could write some keywords on the borders of these. I haven't used it. I tried to use all of them together for a monthly medicine of Dawn Michelle, her membership, and on like the first day I pulled them out, and it's just like, I love the art, but I feel like I don't, these aren't decks I can read with, and this is a problem I've had, that since I got the This Might Hurt Tarot, and I had my first experience with a deck that I could just throw down and read, it changed how I feel about other decks where I have to use the guidebook. And this is one of them. And I'm just not sure if oh God, can I just keep this card? It's an elephant. I'm just not sure if I want to, if I care enough to keep this. I think the thing that really holds me back is that this was like one of the first decks my wife gave me. And like I've said on this channel, that ended up being a very profound experience. Love this deer card too. And I did use this deck. I just haven't. I think I've just outgrown it. So the question is, do I want to keep it and find some creative way to use it? I mean, it's beautiful, but in reality, it's just, like, for the visual standpoint, it's just pictures. I don't know if, even though the art is stunning, it's beautiful, I don't know if I care enough about it as art to hold on to it to use it in a creative way. Except this card. But that's because it's an elephant and it's fire, and I've never thought of elephant as fire, and it okay. I think I need to put this one aside. I love the box, by the way, and the backing too. I think I'm gonna put this into like purgatory, and oh god, and see if I miss it. And then the hardest one. This one I used a ton. This is Kim Cran's Wild Unknown Archetypes. And this deck is extremely rich. The backs suck. But this deck is extremely rich if you work with it and study it. My problem is I wish now that I hadn't trimmed off the borders, because I would like to try using some keywords. Okay. Well, I've answered my question. I'm not ready to get rid of this one. I was afraid I was. But, and I don't mind that it's like a shitty trim job. I was afraid I wanted to get rid of this, and I'm not ready to. I want to learn this deck. I want to work with this deck. I have had some amazing work with this deck. I've worked with it in different ways. I've worked with it by pulling one for each quarter of the year on my year ahead spread. I did that last year. I've been thinking about doing that again. I don't know if I have enough space to write keywords on it. Okay, so I'm going to keep this one, and I'm going to see if I can't spend some time studying it and getting to know it, because I really want to know this deck. So that one stays. We're down to the hardest ones. The soul cards. Ugh, okay. I'm going to put this one aside because this image is stunning and I love it, and I have a meaning associated with this image. So that one I'm going to put aside. I don't think, and that's from Soul Cards 1. I don't think, I think I was right in my video. I was like, no, I'm good. I put it aside, and then I had very strong, like, I want to keep trying. And then I got my Shimmering Veil. My Shimmering Veil gives me the type of experience I wanted from this deck. And some of this artwork creeps me out. It's really, like, it's breathtaking as artwork. It is amazingly intuitive. But it just doesn't feel as zingy, or at least not all of it does. It doesn't feel as zingy as, I love this image, as the Shimmering Veil Tarot. And Scylla Conway has beautiful oracle decks. I'm thinking that her oracle decks, like the Devas of Creation, which has an elephant, by the way. It has a gorgeous elephant. I'll insert some pictures. I think those decks will be better suited to do for me what I wanted this to do. This just didn't work the way I wanted it to. And part of that's on me, because I was so enamored by this idea of the type of experience Lisa describes having. Her channel's up above, by the way. This experience where she had something and she ended up, from the soul card, she ended up creating her past life reading, and it was this profound thing. And my brain, again, my brain, the neurodivergent part, I have trouble with subjectivity sometimes. Like, I totally understand subjectivity, but sometimes, often with things, if someone has a reaction to something in a specific way, I'll think, okay, so if I want this reaction, I need the same thing. I'll have the same reaction. And that's just not the way it works. I hate this card. This card is so creepy. It's just not the way it works. And it ends up being a fantasy self. So, my soul cards, not the bag. You cannot have any of my Peggy bags. I'll put them in a different bag, but my soul cards 1 and 2 are going to go. I have been loving and using my Shimmering Veil, and I have still, even with it, I still haven't wanted to use this. So these are going to go, and I'm going to see if I can't get for, like, Yule and Christmas the excuse me, the Devas of Creation, with art that I know hits me the way I wanted the soul cards to. The last two are kind of an honorary mention. Since I was doing this video, I wanted to bring these out because they're not necessarily fully on the chopping block, but I wanted to bring them out and talk about it. These are my illustrated bestiary, and herbiary. Here's the thing. Lisa, in a video, I don't remember which one, made a very good point that the Songs of the Grandmother, oh, it might have been in that video, so I will link her Songs of the Grandmother preview video. The Songs of the Grandmother might be everything she was looking for in these decks. And I thought, shit, that's a good point, because the Songs of the Grandmother has animals, it has crystals, it has herbs. I still don't have all 3 of these decks because I have a puzzle, though, actually. I still don't have all 3 of these decks because in order to get it, to complete the collection the way I want it complete, I need to, oh, look at this. I need to buy the buy the illustrated crystallary book, and I would then have the Dinky cards, and then I would need to get the Oracle deck of all 3 so they match, because my brain is just weird like that. So I wanted to bring these out and take a look at them just while I was in this mindset and ask myself, because I backed the Songs of the Grandmother on Kickstarter. I am so excited for that deck. I don't think looking at them though, so that's more the bestiary. I don't think I have to worry. Unlike Lisa, who put the thought in my head, I wanted to at least sit and look and consider, unlike over the years, Lisa's determined for herself that she doesn't actually use decks like this. And she's kind of moved on from trying to use a lot of naturey decks like this. My Venus is in Taurus. I live for this shit. I love this stuff. Not to mention, like, if I were to pick decks from the art perspective, that here's what they feel like. Here's the decks that feel like my spirituality. It's these ones. So no, these I'm gonna keep these. I'm glad to have looked at them, and I might actually, once I get the 3rd one, I might actually put them all together in here. Yeah, I think I could get all 3 to fit in there. I'm gonna keep these. And I'm going to make sure to get myself the illustrated crystallary. And the books. Oh my god, Maya Toll's books are so stunningly beautiful. That does not go here. So I'm gonna hold on to these ones, and because I would miss them, but I wanted to take a look and just see. I think though, for me, I am so drawn to this aesthetic that it's a non-issue. So the final tally is there's 2 decks in here technically, Soul Cards 1 and Soul Cards 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 decks are going into purgatory, try and find new homes, yada yada, and And 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 8 ones I'm going to consider off the chopping block. So I'm going to clear my list. I have a tab on my spreadsheet of like my wish list. My wish list, I have my collection / wish list, which I did a video of. It's up above in the cards. Then I have a tab of the decks that came in through this year. So that way at the end of the year I can do like a video about it and whatnot. And then I have a tab of on the chopping block. I'm going to clear the on the chopping block tab and consider these ones over here to go. And then these ones considered not on the chopping block. And that way I can keep the tab, and once I reach a certain number we can do like videos and stuff like this. So that is it. I have now a big pile. Let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed this video, because I'd like to do this kind of thing periodically, maybe not with as many at once, but you know. So let me know in the comments down below. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to let me know if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you can come on back nice and easily and find it. I have started working on my YouTube membership, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, you can check out the links in the description box, where I have my website linked, where you can find and book services with me. I'm an astrologer and a tarot reader, and I combine the two together to make very personalized special services. And if you have any questions about anything on my website or just anything at all, my email is there as well, so you can reach out and we can chat. But I'm going to let you go here because I now have a big mess to clean up and I have lots of work to do. So I will see you again very soon. Lots of love.